Two new developments tonight in the murder of a mother and her 3-month-old son in Texas. Not only have police released details about the evidence found inside the home where Shauna Vandeweghe and little Diedrich were killed, there is new information on what led police to suspect her husband is responsible. Included in the now public arrest affidavit, questions about a staged crime scene and potentially damning co-worker interviews. You are not going to believe these. Craig Vandeweghe was arrested late last week. There he is, more than 900 miles away in Colorado. Jeffrey Boney is the associate editor of the Houston Forward Times. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about the arrest affidavit. I want to start with some of the quotes that he has given that the police are now quoting in the arrest affidavit, quoting him. The first one is that he says he wishes that he could push her down the stairs. Take a look at this. He told his coworker that his wife was pregnant and that he wished that he could push her down the stairs and kill her that way. Let's go to the second one because I think this one is probably the most significant and it's just horrific. He said to his coworkers that he had a dream that he sliced the heads of his wife and father like bologna. I mean, good grief. This is not real far from how these victims were actually killed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just very disturbing information. According to a Costco employee, when interviewed by one of the detectives, Craig Vandeweghe constantly talked negative and complained about his wife and her appearance. And in the employee's assessment, he always talked about how she couldn't do anything right and that she dressed and wore her hair poorly. He was upset with his wife because she moves his personal things around. And he said that the only way he could tolerate his wife was by drinking. And he, of course, told the employee shortly after starting work at Costco that his wife was pregnant and that he wished that he could push her down the stairs, as you aforementioned, and kill her that way. And he recounted a dream approximately 2 to 3 days before his wife and child were killed that he would slice the head. He wanted to slice the heads of his wife and father like bologna in the dream. And he said that recently he had started taking a prescription medication that he had previously been taking, and that this medication made him hear voices that told him to kill people.
So, Jeffrey, what is the motive that the police are working on? In other words, what's their operative theory as to this crime?
Well, I mean, there are several things that they're looking into, but at the moment, it's looking as if he clearly wanted to kill her. A few days prior to the murder, Craig asked if she had insurance on her jewelry, and he told her that if she ever wanted money, all she had to do was fake a robbery. And so there's reason to believe that he simply did not want the child and that he wanted to be done with his wife.
Yeah, and he even talked about her being asleep. Take a look at this from the from the arrest warrant affidavit. It says it appeared that she, Shauna, that's his wife, was either asleep or unconscious when the wound was inflicted. Yodit, let me go to you because I understand that if a man comes home and his wife and baby are killed, and he's innocent. He's going to say a lot of things. He's going to do a lot of things that might sound odd. That doesn't make him feel guilty. But on the defense side, how do you get around a guy telling people before these killings that he essentially dreamed or fantasized about cutting the necks of family members like bologna, and his wife and baby, in fact, had their necks slashed?
It seems like he was trying to sort of set up an insanity defense in the event that he would actually get caught, talking about how he's hearing voices because of the medication, but his actions translated into a guilty conscience because, I mean, he's talking about how his wife can't do anything right and how he'd want to, essentially get rid of her. And then he's found in Colorado with his wedding ring and condoms stuffed in his pocket on the way to Vegas. Does doesn't necessarily sound right. He's telling officers that, you know, he went to work that day of the murders on time, where, you know, his coworkers actually saying, well, no, he actually came in 45 minutes late. I'm actually upset at the coworkers, because it's more than just saying, you know what, my coworker is acting kind of weird. Why would you not report someone who's actually talking about wanting to shove his wife down the stairs and kill her that way, or slicing her head off? Doesn't make any sense to me.
And, you know, Wendy, let's not gloss over an important little fact that Yodit just mentioned, which is that he had a condom in his pocket shortly after his wife and his little baby are murdered, and he drives hundreds of miles away, and he doesn't forget to put a condom in his pocket, which can only mean one thing, that he's thinking about having sex with somebody, right?
You know, that's right, Lisa. And adding to those very good observations is also the fact that, remember, he fell asleep at the police station when they were questioning him. His behavior after the murder is so atypical that in and of itself it's suspicious. But there's an interesting twist also to, is he setting up an insanity defense? Remember all of the steps he went to make it look like an accident. He called the police, make it look like he didn't do it. He called the police. He reported there were pry marks. It was good investigation that actually uncovered some of the loose ends that were missing. In other words, the pry marks appeared to have been done while the door was open. The rest of the story didn't add up forensically. And then when you add all of that to the statements that the two of you have just mentioned, it sure does look bad for him. But as this defense
none of it
attorney,
adds up. None of it adds up for the defense, right? It all adds up, I think, for the prosecution in this one. Once I heard the quotes that he had told other people, I think it's really over for him. Well, coming up next.